Welcome to Black Businesses Matter, a podcast about why Black businesses matter and the benefits of collaborating and advocating for Black businesses to drive impact. Each episode will cover legacy, hope, Black joy, funding sources, cultural shifts, equality, and so much more. We will provide inspiration and action while spreading some joy to a thriving community of Black business owners and leading thought leaders.
I am Larvetta Lofton, your host and the founder of the L3 Agency.
Known as the brand maven who transforms organizations with her storytelling prowess, meet Larvetta L. Lofton, host of Black Businesses Matter, a podcast about why Black businesses matter and the benefits of collaborating and advocating for Black businesses to drive impact.
All right, we are live in the studio today to celebrate National Black Business Month. So you all know me as Larvetta Lofton. If you don't, I'm going to introduce you to me. My name is Larvetta Lofton. I'm the founder of the L3 Agency and the host of Black Businesses Matter. You all know we were not going to let National Black Business Month occur without us doing a live stream. So we are here. We've got some thought leaders at the table. They are dynamic women that I truly love, respect, and quite frankly can pull me together when I need to be pulled together, okay? You got to have those kind of people on your team and in your circle. So happy National Black Business Month, ladies. Woohoo! Yes! So I want to give y'all a little bit of history because I had to come up with something because we know about Black History Month, right, in February, but National Black Business Month has, come up and I found out in 2004 was designated as such by two Black entrepreneurs, engineer Frederick E. Jordan and John William Templeton. They're the president and executive editor of E-Access Corporation, a scholarly publishing company. So when I saw that, I said, I've got the perfect two people today to talk about that, right? We're talking about digital. We're talking about AI. And so these two engineers came together and created National Black Business Month. That's why I brought you two today. So it makes sense that literally God allowed for these two women to say yes. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an intro onto who they are and why they are here. And then we're just going to talk about, because what we want to talk about is AI in this place of marketing and communications. I have a thought leader in the space of digital marketing who runs Ink Digital. This is Cle Andrea Hayden. She is the founder of Ink Digital. She's worked with top brands. In fact, I'm going to say this because I know her, but some of her brands have been Cream of Nature. She's worked with Kim Kimball. Come on, give me some more. Give me some more of some of these brands you've worked with.
Flawless by Gabrielle Union, Kiss Color and Care.
Yes, all that beauty stuff.
Coca-Cola,
yes.
Verizon.
Yes.
The list can go on and on.
So, so we're in the seat right now to talk about that. And she is my friend. So I just want you all to know I am in great company today. Lori, this dynamic, red hair, beautiful woman is the CEO of Girlgobegreat and a visionary leader. And I've had the pleasure of knowing her for quite some time and now get to do amazing work with her because she is that. She can speak the truth. Oh my gosh, so beautiful and poetically. So you guys are going to have fun. The one thing that I want you all to know about her is that she's an international motivational keynote and TEDx speaker, award-winning entrepreneur. And then, this most recently, I want to reintroduce you all that she is the AI girl. Like she is helping us to understand, don't run from it, embrace it. And she's going to help us to talk about why, especially women, because that is who she services. She's ignited the spirits of over 10,000 women and guiding them toward greater success. So she's going to talk about AI and why it is going to be successful. And then I'm also going to allow for her to talk a little bit about what we're going to do in Canada. We're going to throw that in a little bit, Laura. We are. We got to use that just a little bit. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show, guys. Yes. So I have Cle Andrea in the studio, and then I have Lori, who's somewhere. She might be in Canada, Atlanta. So, I can't keep up with her. I don't know where she is, but she's somewhere, and said yes, right? And said yes. I did. And said yes. So, ladies, I want to talk about AI. Lori, I'm going to hit it with you because I want you to tell for those people, and I always say for the people in the back, because people in the front, they got it. But the people in the back, what is AI?
Well, let's break it down to the simplest form. But first, I have to send so much love to you. Like, I love you. Like, for real, we talk sisterhood and we talk women in business and we talk Black women in business. But truly, there's a sisterhood that exists in this whole business creation and operation that we got going on. And I believe that it works. And you and I are a testament that it works. And I'm so excited to meet everyone here in the studio today. And I am in Atlanta today, by the way.
See.
So thank you for having me. Thank y'all for bringing me into the conversation. I'm honored.
Yes, Lori. So tell us.
So let's start with the fact that AI is a tool. It's like any other tech tool, but not like any other tech tool. Mm-hmm. Artificial intelligence. Intelligence made artificially, but it's part of a big old thing called the learning machine. So I like to break it down where like you said, the people in the back can get it. Mm-hmm. We're not engineers. I know I'm not. My brother is. But I don't know anything about all of the codes that go in to make it twerk and make it and tweak it and make it move and do what it does. I understand that it's a learning machine or machine learning apparatus. We could stop right there.
That's good.
That once data goes in, data comes out.
Mm-hmm. That's
so
good.
Think robotic, right? Mm-hmm. Just think robotics and think telling something what to do to get what you need out of it, but it can only get what you give it. So always think great data in this whole ideal of machine learning and great data out.
That's good. And I like that you described it because we throwing this stuff around, but I don't know that everyone really knows what it is, right? We know we use Google, right? We know we use it. Tell me how to get here, right? We know that, but we haven't really understood what that means. And so thank you for defining that for everyone in the people in the back, because the people in the back, we want to make sure they got that. And so for you, and we say it's a tool, for you, Cle Andrea, who runs a digital marketing company, right? How do you see AI in that space of digital? Because you're already in a digital space, but how do you see it?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things that I quickly realized as, this conversation around AI came to be is that we've really been using AI for a long time. I mean, if we think about just what Lori described AI being, it's really the data collection, the algorithm. Like every time we type, every time we text, every time we put something into Google, IG, Facebook, they're collecting that information, right? And so those platforms literally are the basis to some degree of AI. Hootsuite and Sprout Social, they have what we call social listening tools on the back end. That's AI, right? Because it's gathering that information every time someone mentions Black Businesses Matter or L3 Agency or Inked Digital or Coca-Cola. Like they're machines and data collecting on the back end, and that goes back to AI.
Yeah. Thank you for that, because you're right. It does. It goes back to that we didn't realize that and so, we had a retreat as a team, and, my team is very diverse, right? Got a lot of young people, middle people, and I'd say I'm in the middle people, right?
Middle people.
Into the middle people, right? And so we were talking about it, and interesting enough, young staff were just like, oh, it's a tool. Like, we don't want to use it. You taking away our creativity. Like the way that they responded wasn't what I thought, honestly, guys. Like I was kind of like, oh, okay. I thought they'd be like, yeah, let's do it. Let's make it simple, but they were not all the way in. We figured out it's a tool. And so this idea of how do we, as thought leaders, both of you are thought leaders, how do we create this intergenerational conversation with AI so that, right, we've got middle-aged baby boomers and, our millennials and Gen Z all in together to embrace this together, because we could say young people are already doing it. They get it. But some of them are like, no, I don't know if I want to go all the way there. What are your thoughts around that, Cle? How can we do better in that space?
I mean, I think ultimately it's really important, especially in digital, in the world, in life, right? To incorporate the multi-generation experience, right? They bring so much to the table, and it's so much information, that they have and experiences that they have that we don't necessarily, some of us may not necessarily have, right? Yeah. And so I think that, especially in an instance similar to yours, where you have, individuals across generations as part of your team, maybe incorporate an opportunity for them to lead some of the efforts. I think we can learn from everyone, right? And I think that where we are in business, and I will speak for myself, in business and learning how to incorporate AI into my business, it's important for us to have those conversations with those that are interested. And, like we were just talking, I can hand my phone to someone on the team who may be, in her early 20s, and she's able to get something done extremely quickly, right? And I think that it's the same, right? Again, it's an educational experience. It's an opportunity for us to learn cross generations and let them shine in that if that's something that they're interested in.
Yeah. I think, and knowing that, I find that, but you see that when you talk to young people, they're like, nobody hears us, nobody sees us, that and so we struggle. So that thing of being inclusive in that space. Okay, so I have to ask this question because it's burning inside of me. Okay, Chat GPT, right? Oh yeah. So who's used it, Lori? You used it? Tell me.
Oh, I use it daily, actually. It's a daily, and I don't just use that. I use 12 AI tech tools. But can I jump back for a second?
Yes, you can. Yes.
Yeah, let's, this is so yummy. I'm gonna stay focused, right? Let's go back to the very first question, then the second question, then we get to the third one.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
The very first question, everyone can grab this. As we transcend to transform, we have to always go back. So let's go back for a minute, and this will settle it. This will settle everybody. IBM.
Wow.
So IBM, and you got to look at the movie, Hidden Figures.
Yes. Okay? That's a good one. Yes.
All right. So everybody go take a look at the movie, Hidden Figures. Haven't seen it, it's a must see. So if you have seen the movie, you'll remember the part where Dorothy, I think it's Dorothy's her name, she's inside of the IBM room. These big machines are coming in, and NASA has to put the first man on the moon. And the only way the first man gets to the moon is by technology. He will not get to the moon by us tinkling and hammering and screwing in anything. It's going to be through math and technology. The digits, the code that's created from the math, then turns into this thing called a learned machine that then shoots the man to the moon. And that's where Russia had us at, because they caught it first. They understood that's how we get our man to the moon. Now, we've had one man to go to the moon, okay? But that was the first on the moon, was the man. All right. Now, IBM was on the cutting edge, bought in these big old machines. They were that big. Everybody remember seeing some? Big, huge. And what did it need in order to do this work that NASA needed to do? It needed data in. So Dorothy, she would go down there at night and she would pull out her documents and she would study, and she would go to the library to get old books of how to code the IBM machine to do what we needed it to do. That's AI. So let's get that in our gut, in our spirit, that it's been with us. It was just another name. It was IBM. It was then Microsoft. It was then Apple. So if we could just grab that, that's the fundamental. Now, number two question you asked, how do we transcend? Because we're in a transcendental experience always, right? like what we're in right now, each of us with different thoughts, coming from different experiences. So to make this thing happen for us all, so we're not left out in the cold and we're not outside the room peeping in the window this time. Because Black business tend to either be shut out the room and or voluntarily didn't go.
Yeah.
So how we're going to do it? We're going to have a transcendental experience.
Yeah, that's good.
Transcend to transform. And we do that without fussing about time and space. We encourage each of us, as my other sister just noted, we encourage each of us to learn our place and our piece and contribute that.
Yeah.
So that's my answer.
And I think it's, right? You started off when you said tool, right? That it's a tool. And then Cle, you talked about it from the standpoint of like, you can go get a young person that can do it faster than you. So really it's tool and efficiency, absolutely, right? So it's using this tool to be more efficient, which allows for us all to do the other things that we want to do. Absolutely. And embracing that from that standpoint. And when I ask you, both of you all, I just want to share this with you all. I always say when I fell in love with a tool, because I think you fall in love with a tool. Like you take a tool and you be like, oh, I'm in love. You know what I mean? If you take Google away, I'm be like, wait a minute, I don't take away my Google. Like I like him for real, right? Yeah. So, and there's him and then there's her, because we got Elizabeth and Google too. I want to make sure I'm being inclusive, right? I want to make sure of that. But when you think about it, someone introduced, I had heard about it. Laura, I think I heard about it from you. I've heard about it from other people. And so, in the space of marketing, right, it takes us, a lot. It takes us about 10 to 12 touches for somebody to really say, okay, let's do this, right? Sure. So by the time I left a conference, I was at TD Jakes conference, by that time was when I was like, okay, I'm about to do this. And I did it. And much like you, I was like, let me try this. Let me use this. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like I can move stuff faster. Yeah. And so I did it. And to be honest with you guys, and I want to hear how, you did it and it just kind of blew your mind. Because the first time I did it, I was like, okay. And then I had to do it for a client who wanted me to do some research or do something. I was like, oh, let me whip this together real fast. I said, you know what? Let me go try this tool right now. And I was like, oh my gosh, this thing whipped away so fast. So what would have taken me, 2.5 hours to do, I got to find the time. And then I can put it together. So I was like, but before I moved to this, was that your first aha? Like when you first used it, was it kind of that? I'm just curious, Cle Andrea, what was for you?
Oh yeah. So the first time using Chat GPT, I was amazed at how quickly the information came together. Because to your point, like if I were to be searching and Googling and doing all the research, it would have taken a minute. Honey, that information came up so quickly. And then, I was able to like pull it apart.
Yes.
Right? So that for me has been how we've been using AI and specifically Chat GPT is, putting in key phrases and, prompts and things like that. And then extracting the information to make it make sense, to make it work for the experience. We've also used it for researching influencers because a lot of times we have to create and curate lists for our clients. So we've been using First Collab, which is an AI-based platform to identify influencers using their YouTube link. And then we can find lookalikes based off of that information. And so then we drill down and identify, okay, these would be some of the best ones to bring into the fold and to create as partners in the various programs. But yeah, it's the efficiency. Yeah. For me, it's the efficiency in how you can get the information and just, kind of churn things out. So, yeah.
And if I was to put an emoji behind it, what would your emoji be when you first used it?
Smiles, honey. The big smiles, child. I was like, this is what we're doing. Okay. And it's funny too, because I remember having a conversation probably around December with another colleague, and she is a professor, and she was just talking about Chat GPT, and I was like, wait, I missed something because what's happening here? And after that, I just started playing around with it and tinkering with it. And I do want to just say, to piggyback off of what Lori had mentioned in terms of Black businesses and where we, the opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, I am in digital. My entire career has been digitally based, and I have seen how either Black businesses adapt and connect to various digital platforms and how they may, shy away from it and how that has impacted their businesses. Some are still around, some are not. And I think that this is a huge opportunity for us. Like, I've been in social, for the last 10 years and just watching how we as a community are using social media and influencer marketing and like these digital tools to really create substantial businesses. I encourage us all to really kind of like tap in and identify ways to incorporate AI into our businesses. I mean, let's not fear it. Like, let's embrace it, understand it, learn it, take classes, connect with others who are, more advanced in it. Like, but let's definitely not miss the boat with this.
This is, I'm so glad you guys, I got thought leaders, they gonna jump in before, we come into that. But I like that they introduced it and brought it up because I love it. Because that's what we want people to understand, like not to shy away from it. Like as Black businesses, a lot of times some come, it's always a conspiracy. No, they, I know on my side, now, they tapping in. They tapping in already.
They've
already tapped in, okay?
They tapped in a long time ago.
Yes, alone. But again, and so then that gets in our minds, right? And then fear comes in. And then guess what? We still where we were 3 years ago.
We don't want that.
We don't want that, right? So
Evolution.
we have to understand that. And so, Lori, your first time using it, like your very first time, I want to know, like, what was it, what you did, and what was that emoji?
So Cle Andrea, she said, is it Cle Andrea?
Cle Andrea.
Cle Andrea. Oh, I loved it.
Ain't it cute?
Okay.
I agree.
Cle Andrea said it. She said smiles. Okay, I'm going to say that I don't like wearing panties often, but I've had to learn to wear them. So, and if I could get away with no bra, I would do that too.
I love it.
I'm a right brain algorithm and engineer. Okay. So innovator, creator, and all of that. So we don't like to be restricted. So anything that takes us into innovation, we are jumping up, screaming, running, and fire signs, smiles, you name it, exclamation points, red, pink, green, because something happened.
Yeah.
Something happened after working with all the women I've worked with, right? I kept looking for the thing that's holding my clients back. I mean, you're getting the best coach, the best coaching. Your business got the strategy. I'm giving you all the things you need, the things. But something was missing all these years. And it was the ability to multiply ourselves. Black women struggle we're time poor. I talk specifically to our collective. A lot of Black women are entrepreneurs, but she's this is her side business. She's still in corporate. She's trying to find her way out because she's underbanked. So my first time using it, I felt like her. I felt like I tapped in to what she needed. So I was just done, like chills and the emoji. There was no emoji that could have got that thing, could have captured it. So with that being said, we got some other issues though, tapping back into what you shared, Larvetta. Unfairness, number one, fear, number two, and frustration, number three. I did a beta test and I had about 15 women that joined me in a secret class.
Okay.
Each invested about $500 to take my bankable AI business course that I have not launched yet. I wanted to see what was what. And what was let's first, mindset was a struggle. Unfairness. Well, AI can handle that. People like Lori, seriously, AI can handle unfairness, yes, because we're underbanked. So as Black entrepreneurs, We keep hearing the stats. We're underrepresented, underserved, and underbanked. So AI is an equalizer. Everybody grab that. If you don't grab anything else I say
Ooh,
today,
that's good. An equalizer.
equalizer. No one can take the tool away from you, because if they pull the tool down offline, then everybody lose. So guess what? You now are in the door, as Cle Andrea said earlier. She don't want us to miss it. I don't want us to miss it. I don't want us peeping through the window on this one. So I've decided to be an evangelist for this tool, and it don't really bother me at all, because we're thought leaders. So if you say Lori is crazy, then that's cool. Everyone crazy created something amazing. This is a $1 billion opportunity.
Yep.
And we haven't even touched the piece of the surface. So another point I want to make, as we look in the future of this, it's essential. Yes, mindset is your money. Mindset will be the thing you'll have to overcome, your limiting beliefs about technology, because you're still probably trying to figure out how to use your email to its capacity. I know so many Black women entrepreneurs still don't know how to do an efficient email or use spreadsheets or Google Sheets. So trying to use AI and Airtable and these new tools, it's going to take thought leaders like us and these kind of conversations to move this along. We are required in this moment. And final thought on this: we're in the wild, wild west. You're not alone.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody try to dupe you on this. And I always say the CIS white guys, right? They are very, very interesting group. They will claim 100 million's been earned. They will claim the future before it's there. They will say that AI's done all this incredible stuff for their business and is yet to produce that. However, it's possible. So they take possibility and turn it into their right now. So if you can learn anything from them, learn anything from them, learn that if they, quote unquote, say 100 million, then go for it. Just touch that. And final thought, in the Wild Wild West, what did we learn? We learned that no one knew what was really going on. It was like us right now. It feels rough around the edge. Okay. So if it feels rough around the edge, that means that we're all in it together, and it's the same feeling we all have. So what you got to do, what do you got to do, Lori? You got to get with thought leaders like us. You got to follow us, right? You got to attach to our YouTubes, our email communities. You got to get in and learn. Because if you learn 30 minutes of how to use AI to push your business forward, whether it's proficiency or efficiency or profitability, whether it's innovation, creating, right, to drive your profitability, whatever it is you're looking for, AI got it. It's just every tool does something different. Every tool. Chat does something different. Jasper, repurpose, all videos, you name it. It's different tools of AI. And if you do that, follow us, the Thought Leader, join our courses and classes, the free ones and the invest ones. You pay to grow and be great. Good is free, so you can get the free stuff for good. Great costs, so you got to invest up to learn the real prompts and tips and strategies on how to incorporate them, right? And then final, you become proficient. You're in the 1%. 1%. Right now, we represent the 1%. Because we know how to use the tool, we know how to get results from the tool. So we're on the cutting edge, and we have unleashed our competitiveness. So we now can compete. I've gotten 2 speaking engagements, one in Canada, one in Newark, New Jersey, pending one other. This was an invitation because I'm in the 1% already of information.
That's good. And let me say this, when I want to just equalizer, right? When you said that, it just allowed for, right, inside of equalizer is equal. It's equity, right? It's all of this. And understanding that, and you said it, Cle, is we have to feed it. We have to feed it too, in order for them to understand who we are, right? So when I think about it, it's a tool. And I like that you said, Cle, was I took a little bit and then I finessed it and made it work, right? Well, I think we have to understand is they're capturing that data from us too, to be able to finesse it, to give it back to us. So we got to feed it what it wants, right? I mean, get it, and I think of it as, and I'm going to pause here for you guys to see this, is just like the vending machine. Okay. Think about that, right? We go into the vending machine, right? We put that dollar in there. We hit that button. It comes out. Sometimes it doesn't give you what you put in there, right? But you take it and you allowed it. But one thing is for sure is you tend to what? Eat it anyway, right? You like, I didn't order it. I'm going to drink it. I didn't order this, but I'm going to drink it because you put something in it and you were expecting something back. So there's something you're going to get. So even if you don't like it, right? It's something in there that you're going to get the same way as we think about vending. Because the vending machine was also a tool, right? To be able to not have to walk across the street, go to the store, drive 5 miles. I can go right to that vending machine and get what I want. And so when you said we've been using it, yes. And I thought about, Lord, I was thinking to myself, like, that's that vending machine, right? When it allowed for you to put that dollar in there and that little thing, pull it, come on out. You were like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. And we all embraced it. So what I do want from both of you all, because I do want to get, I know we speak from fear, right? When we think about Black businesses, because this is Black Business Month, I would love for you all to give us, just some tips on, right? Knowing that fear exists. This is something new, right? This is something new. What can a Black business owner do to embrace this level of technology in their business? You all have already given us, it's an equalizer. It's efficient, right? It's a tool, right? Everything that we need. But I'm sitting on that stage and I'm like, and not doing it. And so, because when I think about it, remember it was Y2K. Don't get on the internet, because it's about to blow up. And everybody was sitting there and people made a lot of money, right, during that whole thing. And so, Cle Andrea, I want to ask from your perspective, like, how can you get those businesses that quite just haven't literally crossed over? I'm just going to say, like, they haven't embraced that. And then I would love for you to say, how do you tell your clients who may not be there too? Because you work with, top clients. How do you get them to say, okay, let's try this. What's those steps that you can do to help people understand these baby steps into it?
So I think one of the first steps, just very similar to all three of our experiences, try it. Just take one step. And like, again, going back to Chat GPT, like, if there's something that you are working on and you just want to this is an opportunity for you to try it and then see how it works for you. I think the other thing, and it goes back to what Lori said, is take a class. Y'all, we can't be afraid to get the information. Like, it starts with being empowered. Empowerment comes from education. So get the information. Take a free class, take a cost class, a paid class. Just find an opportunity for you to get the information. But to me, there's nothing better than action. Try it out. I mean, it's like anything else that we do, digitally. It really can't go wrong. It really can't go wrong.
That's the secret.
It really can't. I mean, it could, but the likelihood of it, probably not. And again, you don't have to really move forward with the information that you're getting or you're gathering. You can tweak it. You can put it in your back pocket. You can use it later. I mean, but just try it. Try it with one platform. Okay. And then I think when it comes to clients, we use it all the time. Clients just don't know.
Like, this is what we do.
The reality is, if I were to educate all of them on, again, some of the things that the social listening. We're already using it. The first collaborator, where, we're using it to pull influencers. We're already using it. I think that for me, one of the big opportunities is when it comes to AI generated images and video, right? again, we are a social media influencer marketing based agency. And those things are necessary. We have to have images and videos to tell your story. And so identifying ways to bring clients into experiences and opportunities such as that. But the one thing I will say just about my client base is they get a lot of this, right? To Lori's point, it's the Wild Wild West. And we're just trying to figure out how to get you all the best return. And if you're open to working with us in terms of, creating these images and these videos using an AI generated platform, let's try it.
Yeah.
Let's try it.
Yeah.
I'm all about testing it out and seeing how it works. And if it works, okay,
Right.
we'll do it again.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, okay, well, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
We don't have to be married to these things, but it is important to date them.
Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's it's okay to date them, right?
It's all right.
And then you say, nope, that doesn't work. Nope, that just doesn't work for me, and that's okay.
It's okay.
And I think it's because you hear so many, I'm scared, my brand, that the story. And so getting people to understand it. But the one thing that I've also realized is the people that don't get it have the skills of how to back up. So for us who still understand that we don't have it, we still come in with a piece of paper and a notepad. We still got journals, right? We still go to, it's being recorded, but I'm keeping my notes. And so realizing that, I think for us, we're saying, don't take anything away.
Yeah.
Just add to it.
Add to it. Yeah.
Don't take it away.
Sure.
Just being able to add to that. And so when I think from there, and I know for Cle Andrea, you work with influencers. I do. I'm gonna go to Lori, and then I want to come back because I want to understand like the whole avatar thing. Because people go out, put the faces up there, they look cute. You can make yourself look pregnant. You can make yourself look. You can make yourself look like whatever you want to look like, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's for me, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But I realize though, that's a thing, and it's becoming popular. So I definitely want to understand your perspective and how you're able to use that with influencer marketing. So from there, Lori, how do you? We know that fear exists, right? We know that for business, but those that are no, I don't want to do that. I ain't got time. Because that's the other thing. I ain't got time to learn that. I don't got time to go to school. I ain't got time to take a class. I don't have this. How do you deal with those individuals that say that that they don't have time to be able to literally do those kind of things?
It always starts with the time. I don't have the time. In this one, as a leader, eventually I will be duped, named the AI evangelist, because that's where
I think you are. Yeah, I think so. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And here's why I can speak to this next thing. For so long in my business coaching company, right, teaching women entrepreneurs how to fundamentally grow their businesses, I found that problem was profitability. So how do we get from knowing what we need, right, to actualizing what we need to break through the fear barrier? So the question I'll ask her each and every time, a couple different questions, and one of them, do you know what you need right now? Do you know what you need right now? It's a question that each of us has to go deep to find sometime, right? It's the transformative idea. So if you know what you need right now, the next question, let's talk about the dream. Let's talk about the dream. What does the dream look like? How does it taste? How does it feel? How does it smell? I'm getting her somewhere. Then we layer it down. Then what could be the outcome of that dream actually happening? You know what you need. You now know the dream, how it feels, how it tastes, how it smells. Now, what could be the outcome? And she answers that. And then we go, well, what's the certainty of that happening? That's what we do over here, Girl Go Be Great, in our business development trainings. So if you know what you need right now, and then you know the dream, how does it feel? How does it smell? How does it taste? And then you know the outcome, but you struggle with the certainty. That's where AI comes in. Certainty. It's a learning machine. So what we've done, we found some type of equation to get you more certain about what you know you need, the dream, and the outcome. She can't say no to that. See, what we try to do with the human mind,
That's good.
we try to take it from straight in a straight line. We have to trick them.
Yeah.
Trick them. EM.
You said trickle. Trickle. You said twerk,
Trick.
and then you said trick. Okay, I got it. I got it, Lori. She said twerk
Yeah.
and trick. All
And
right, y'all.
trick. Yeah.
No,
Trick,
this is
trick,
a business
everybody-
show. I know it's a business show, but we twerking
And tricking.
And we
Those
trick
are
'em.
two very lucrative businesses.
We have to trick them. The brain
They
has to be
are.
tricked into not moving into the straight line that you can already smell what you're about to do or hear or think. We got to trust processes and leave room for magic. So as long as we do that, guess what she or he can do? They can decide now.
Yeah.
What do you want to do with this AI thing? Is it a value equation for you?
Yeah.
So what we just did and what I just did with each of us, I took you through my value equation.
That's good.
And that's how we get there. And then we go deeper, time delay and effort. And when you start putting all that together and you start thinking, okay, my time delay and my effort, well, I want to multiply my effort. I need a little bit more time to do whatever that thing is you want to do.
Yeah.
And we play with that. We kept talking about the 4-day work week. Well, guess what AI is? It's the 4-day work.
It is. That's good. Yeah, it is, Lori.
Right? You said
Yep.
it earlier. You said it earlier. You said you were able to take this product that you needed to produce for a client in research. And baby, you said you became in love. Because guess what you did? You collapsed time.
Yeah.
So every VIP we work with, we have built several major products for clients that are not launched yet. We got 2 clients getting ready to launch one, a leadership program,
Nice.
all generated by AI.
I love
Now,
it.
here's the key. Got to catch this. You cannot cheat with AI. We didn't say cheat. There's some ethical boundaries to stay within. So we're in the Wild Wild West. The territory is open, rough around the edges, but you know when something doesn't feel right or sound right or shouldn't be put out there. You can feel that, you know that as a professional. So what we have to do is ensure that we got brand voice,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So we help build products for our clients. We help them first identify their brand voice, and there's an AI tool that does that. So once we get her brand voice, we can then work on copy and content.
Okay.
Once you work on copy and content, you can now produce what you're about to go to next, all of our imagery. And once you do that, whether that's video or whether that's actual, imagery that you'll put on some type of platform, whatever that imagery looks like, that's the third piece. And then the final piece is looking at it in a holistic way. Is this a product that can make profit? Because remember, we're working with the equity part when we talk Black women entrepreneurism or Black entrepreneurism. So that equation has to all fit. You can't just get chat to give you something and throw it out there. You have to make sure it's inclusive data.
Yes.
Okay?
That's
All right.
good. And I say this, so anybody that's tuning in, jumping in, we're talking about AI in this place of communications and digital marketing and how you can use it, how it can be leveraged, how you can build a business that it could be efficient, where it could be your equalizer. And I love that Lori shared that. So here with Cle Andrea of Ink Digital, she works in the space of influencers, right? And so we see these avatars popping up. Yeah. We seeing all this stuff. So, I'm an influencer, as an avatar that could be a Larvetta, right? Yeah. And literally have my mannerisms, can have all of this.
Yeah.
It could actually make a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
While Larvetta can't go to sleep and that avatar could be working on my behalf. So I want to talk about that, namely with you in the space of influencers and, is it something that influencers are tapping into and making money as a stream? So I'd love to get your insight on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple of things, just to the avatar component of all of this. So influencers are using it, right? They're smart.
Go,
they're smart.
Tell the people.
They're smart.
Like they're using it.
Yes. However, I think that it's something that's going to continue to be refined, right? In a lot of instances, specifically with the type of clients we work with, we're dealing with, beauty brands and, individuals who have to be in front of the camera, right? So using the product on their hair, really showing, the benefit of the product. So it's a little different for us per se. However, those influencers who are setting up the avatars, like you have to do something, right? It's not just like, it's not just like, oh, okay, I press the button and then it just goes and talks about, oh, okay, this product is so great and it's amazing. You have to give it a little something. You have to feed it something. So I think when it comes to that, yes, we want to be mindful of what's happening in the space, but is it really taking over? Not so much so. But I will say, there are influencers who are using AI to come up with ideas, content ideas. Like, what should we talk about? Yep, this is, I did this last week and then I talked about the product like this 2 weeks ago. Give me some other ideas, right? So they're using it for brainstorming opportunities. They're using it to create captions. I mean, we even use it to create captions using copy AI, right? So I think, again, it really is about how you utilize the platform. And keep in mind, if they are using avatars, there is a little something that goes into the back end of that. The other thing that I do think is very interesting is, there have been apps that have been on the scene for years, like Prism. I think Prism was started back in 2017, 2018. But we really didn't start talking about Prism until we started to see those beautifully curated images from Lensa. Yeah. And to that, I think that they, in like 5 days. I didn't even know they were still around,
so that's good.
In like 5 days, I wrote this down, they made... It was 4 million installs in 5 days. And this took place in December. So remember, Chat GPT became like a big conversation in November. And then in December, we have these beautiful images that have taken over social media. And that app made $82 million in those 5 days. In 5 days. 5 days. Because people were like, oh my God, I want one. Yes. I want to see myself as a, warrior woman who has all this beautiful, imagery set up behind me or whatever it was. But I think that, it, again, is happening. We can't really stop it. With the influencer space, there are, definitely conversations around, okay, how do we monitor this? But that goes back to like the conversations around fake followers, right? You look at an influencer who says they have 2.2 million followers, but only 2 people engage. We have a problem. That's a problem, right? So I think, again, with technology, there's always, something that could be, a deterrent, but let's look at the positives in that as well. And I think that there is opportunity for brands who use influencers to identify ways to use influencers who use AI in ways beyond copy and idea generation.
Because it really is about, being cool, right? Who gonna be the coolest, right?
Well, I mean, so we like to use the word cool. I think ultimately, when we talk about influencers, tribe leaders, it's really individuals who are able to get their tribes, communities to engage, and then hopefully at some point try the product, right? So whether you do that by being cool, whatever that means to you, or just by being authentic, right? Because there are influencers who are into gaming and who are into, technology, and that's part of who they are, right? So they're exploring the opportunity and they're like, oh, okay, this is just the new. So like, let's use the new and, bring in these partnerships.
And I say cool in the space of, we think that because I think every tech tool is cool. Like, oh, that's cool. Like something else comes out. Oh, this is cool. And I am reminded of that because I remember Airtable. I'm just telling Airtable. And so, but I had tried Airtable probably 9 years ago. And people were just like, what's that? I don't want to do that. And da-da-da. But it was a great collaboration tool for us to work together, when there's different teams. Now, they've evolved. And I mean, people are using them for surveys and people are using them for that. So I definitely think, and I'm just going to allow for this question it's about timing. Right.
Yeah.
And it's truly about God's timing, because all of these brands and things that we're talking about and even tools come out too soon. Right. Because even now, Zoom was great, right, during COVID, but there's a lot of other companies that have come up as a result of COVID to provide a better conference online experience. And we're on one called StreamYard, right? They started off and they were just like, okay, we're just going live. And then they started to add on to various things. And I just want us to be able to talk about, from a timing standpoint, when we think about where we are, where we're going, how, for Lori, as you work, how time plays a role in how we build our business. Because if you think about it from the standpoint is, so many people made a lot of money during COVID, right? And then today they're like, no, not so much. I don't do that anymore. And that's fine too. So, right, that's okay. Right. But it's about timing and understanding that we still have to stay in that race, even though it may not be your time, to be able to win around that, and understand that, because there's so many tools that I just remember were not relevant at one point, and now they are, more relevant. And so, thinking about timing, I would love for you guys to just kind of give me your perspective around timing before we wrap up. Lori,
so you think about timing. Think about it. Well, let's think of no time and space, right? There's no time and space between this thing called technology, this vast open blue ocean. That's how I want us to think about it. So when we work with business women over here at Girlgobegreat, one of the things we talk about is her processes. What is your process to get profitable? Yeah. And so when we think about a tool like AI, a tool that does more than any tool I've seen other than Google, and there's more than just Chat GPT, it's Jasper AI, it's Marketing Magic. These are some of the most powerful ones, by the way. Then you got Bard. Bard is a little slow. That's Google's tool. And I can keep going on and on. So what we do, we have to stop the paralysis of analysis. So if we stop that script from running, then guess what we could do? We can get all in. We can AI ourselves. That's what I believe needs to happen. I'm standing on that. I love that you share Airtable. 8 years ago, you tried it. Now it's booming. Guess what? It was booming probably then, but it took for you to play, for you to come out of your own maybe paralysis and learn how to make it really useful for your team, because it does do all those things: surveys, team building, workflows, process automations. And here we are saying we're underbanked, we're underserved, we're underrepresented. Well, we got an answer. It's like tapping into your inner child. So the more you can just be playful with it, like Disney, childlike imagination, the more you can do that, the more you can unlock the boundless opportunity that AI has, because it's not just one tool. Not just one tool. So this transcending time and space, let's come to the present.
Yeah.
What does the present say to you? What is it saying? And the final thought I would give to everyone is get with you an AI evangelist, business coach, someone like who we are, who get it, who's using it. If you think you need to upgrade your marketing, you think you need to upgrade your business profitability, you need to upgrade the things that you're working on, you're going to need someone to guide you to do that. So pay close attention who's really doing it. And then once you get that, you got to learn the fundamentals. So fundamentals are going to be important. Steps and formulas. This is no different. You need prompts. A lot of people don't even know where to get the prompts from. You need prompts. You need frameworks. We can put anything you want in chat. You could say, tell me what color is the best color for the spring 2024. Right? You can get something. But what if you put in there the prompt that says, act as if you are. Act as if you are. That's the beginning of a very powerful prompt. So I've taken about 10 classes already. And I've taken them with the engineers. And I'm in there a little like this little black girl inside the engineering world. But you have to learn engineering prompts. So prompts tell it what to do, guide it on what you need, and then frameworks take you home. Want to build a course? Absolutely. So last little point, I paid a couple $1,000s to work with a course creator. The course is still sitting inside of our, we call the back office of the back office. Never was released. So Lori, what's your point? My point is,
It's time.
thousands of dollars, create a course that was never released. Launch company, thousands of dollars to launch the products that was never released. Since really becoming AI, you got that? Deciding and becoming, products shooting out. Repurpose those products to now make sense, and they're on their way to the marketplace. So can it be a full experience for you? Yes. Can it change the game? Absolutely yes. Can it increase your competitiveness? You dang on right.
Yeah.
Will you have to learn more? Yes. Will you have to stretch yourself? Absolutely. Will you have to give yourself an opportunity, Larvetta?
Yeah.
Cle Andrea? Absolutely. Yeah. Will you have to think different? You doggone right.
Yeah.
Will you have to transcend all of your friends and people and all of the people you know or who are talking, or your circles or your lack of circle? Will you become something different in this moment? Yes, because the environment has changed, the business landscape has changed, the customer has changed, and you will have to change.
Yeah. And so what you're saying is the time is now.
Absolutely.
Lori's like, don't wait. Let's do this. The time is now.
Yeah.
So, I could talk about this. Y'all know this all day. And we certainly, but these are boss women who are great. And understanding that because you're great, you have to go and fill yourself back up, whatever that is. Right. So I do ask you, I do ask this question, to every guest that comes on to the podcast is, why do Black businesses matter? And so we talk about AI. Why for Black businesses? So Cle Andrea, can you tell us?
So, okay. The first question is, why do Black businesses matter?
Yes.
Black businesses matter because they are the backbone of community. I mean, we are a necessity. We are a necessity. We are in position or create position to create legacies, to create wealth beyond imagination. And we are talented, and not to go too Bible, but God gave us all gifts, right? Yeah. And if we are able to tap into those gifts, that creates the resource, i.e. money, a resource, right? So I think that, Black businesses are backbone of community. Why does AI matter
for
to Black businesses?
Yes.
It creates opportunity. I think that, again, just going back to digital and the world that I truly live in, like I live in this world, it creates an opportunity that we may not have had 10, 15, 20 years ago. I think that if we are able to tap into this thing and just really hone in and grab it by the horns, there's some amazing things that can happen for Black businesses and community and globally that are beyond imagination. So AI is an opportunity.
That's good. Yeah. Lori, why do Black businesses matter?
I could have stayed there with Cle Andrea. Like,
it felt every time I ask that question, though, I kid you not, whether we're on the call or somebody's here, it brings me chills. It just does. Every time. I'm like, I felt it. Yeah. And that's why I asked the question, because it literally just it just puts like goosebumps on my hands and on my arms, like everything. So Lori, why do Black businesses matter?
I don't mean to get so deep, but I don't know how to go anywhere other than that, right?
You said the ocean. Think of the ocean. So we know the ocean is pretty deep out there.
We matter because we are business. Mm-hmm. We've always been.
Yeah, that's true.
Our ancestors left us pebbles in the sand. Mm-hmm. They've told us the story. They told us that we were barbers and that we were beauticians and that we were healers. Mm-hmm. They told us we were blacksmiths, for lack of DeSantis sharing our story.
Yes.
They told us that we were innovators, that we created and we contribute more than any other race, but not to say that we're not integrated with each and every race as a collective, as humanity. But our contribution is so big and so wide. We matter because of that. Mm-hmm. I was sharing with my daughter the other day. She had to take a steroid, and I told her, ask her, did she know who invented steroids? Mm. And that's a Black man that invented steroids. So much of the richness that we see, Essence Fest and culture and festivals, and whether it's from here to Canada to Africa, the dancing, the community, the fire burning. We are that. We are fire burning. Yeah. So I know we can do this because this is the fiber of who we are, innovators. That's why we matter. Yeah. We matter because we are business. We are the backbone to it. What has happened has been somewhat out of our control. Sexism, racism, and the rest of that.
Ageism,
absolutely. That has taken us in a side-by-side comparison when we found ourselves trying to research again who we are. Yeah. So to settle that, this is who we are.
This is who we
All
are.
I could say, I used to say this in women conferences all the time when I did a lot of women conferences for, transformative types. I would say, do you know that we can be pregnant, crop down in like a cropping position with our two knees kind of, like you're doing like a pull up or push down, drop the baby out just that way, get back up, clean off, and go back at it tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And every woman in the room is looking at me like, that's who we are. Not to say that we don't deserve rest and we don't deserve all the new things, all the new conversations that we're hearing, but that's the strength of who we are and our Black men alike. Yeah. So the innovator in us can build anything. We could turn a tree into wood, paper, name it. Turn the leaves into something. Before you know it, that's a whole, mural of leaves on a wall that turned into the new art, the new Picasso art.
Yeah.
That's who we are. So that's why we matter, because that's who we are. We're like diamonds in the rough state.
Yes.
And so the second part of the question, I want this just to be so, easy to hear. When we think about why AI, why Black business, and why we merged the two, it's because we're underbanked. It's a very serious problem we have, and we can't keep making it pretty through brunches or make it pretty through events or make it pretty through finding your little special place on the wall and, shoot a picture for Instagram. It's serious. It's too serious for that. And I know my face just turned serious. It's too serious for that.
It's too serious for that.
It's too serious for that. We got to stop that.
That's good.
Nothing wrong with a picture. Nothing wrong with inspiring people through imagery, like Cle Andrea does in marketing, helping her influencers create their imagery, but the imagery needs to reflect the profitability. It needs to be real.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And we need to hear that. And I'm sorry if I killed the party a little
That's
bit
all right.
there,
That's
but
all right.
right, we've
That's
gotten
it.
a little far away from our real truths in that.
That's
So with that being said, I love the brunches. Want to go to one now? Come on, give me some
Exactly.
mimosas and
Come
let's do
on.
it. But
That's right.
but you
Tacos.
do have to remember what's at stake. What's at stake is the Fearless Fund, which is being attacked in this very moment
Yeah.
to stop operating. And if they stop operating
Yeah.
because the suit wins, what happens to all the
those
businesses, the
that's
Black
right.
women businesses that were able to get $20,000 that she didn't have to go borrow, beg, or steal for?
That's right.
$20,000 with the right solution, tech tool like AI can transform that 20K into 200,000. And I know that because I was a bootstrapper. I was the one that borrowed, begged, and steal. I got old videos about it. I did check cashers, card cashers, family cashier, you name it. When I started, I had to beg, to borrow, to bootstrap, to steal.
That's true.
From myself.
That's true.
Right? So underbank is so serious. So when we get something like this, every so often in a generation, something comes along that God created just for us.
Yes.
And if we could just hold on to it, if we could just grab hold of it, and we could believe it, billionaires. I was on an AI conference 4 days. I woke up 7 in the morning to be on this conference because it was in a different country. And this group of people did not look like me. And this group of people were doctors, and I'm talking all over the world. It was a Mind Valley event. So one of the things that was said was, if we could embrace the idea that AI could not take away, but yet give, then we got it.
Yeah.
If we could embrace that AI is here to stay and that we should AI everything, we really got it.
Yeah.
And then I sat through the whole process and I came up with this. If we as Black business owners could quiet down the noise and get silent enough and listen in and lean in, Larvetta, lean in, Cle Andrea, we could nurture, shift, and transform everything that was lacking. Seriously. The tool is just that powerful. It only comes along once in a lifetime. That no one gets to lock us out of this door. Because all you got to do is go to www.chatgpt.
And nobody has to lock us out. That's good. Yeah. Nobody has to lock us out.
No one.
Nobody. Except us, right? Unless you decide that's what you want to do. Yes, we need it. Yeah. Ladies, this has been just a joy to be able to sit here and just allow for you all to share resources, share tools that business owners can do. So as I was sitting here, I'm just, as we close, we got real serious. And so I just want us to kind of, go into a dim down, just dim it a little bit. And so I just got to throw it out there because I feel like everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is overwhelming. They're telling me I got to do all this stuff. So when I think about it, okay, Simon Says, did you play the Simon? Were you? Yeah. Okay. What was that? Simon Says, what was that? What was that?
A game.
Right. Yeah. Right. And so it was a game, right? That was with colors. It was just that simple, right? What are we doing today? Right. And thinking about game, right? Yeah. So we think about Simon. What about for you? Anybody do Rubik's Cube? Yes. And sat there all night, right? Did we do it?
Love Rubik's Cube.
Okay. So let's go back to that moment.
Yeah.
You did that to win. Till you got it, right?
Yeah. Well.
So right.
At least try,
yes, right?
At least try.
So take that moment. For those that think about those moments, take that moment when you were there with that Rubik's Cube. I know many of us did. We couldn't finish that thing and we kept doing it. Yeah. So taking that, Simon, you keep going to level. You like, okay, I got it. And for me I can't remember, but it was the spelling Y'all remember that one? The spelling. It come back and it teach you how to say the word. You had to say it. It was, and you walked around with a little device and everything.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay, now I'm really telling my age for real. But I just want everybody to know that embracing to everything that you all were saying, try it the same way we tried all these tools that were really allowing for those brains to work. So I just want to thank you guys for saying yes to this and to be able to be a part of something that was made for us, right? This month was made for Black business owners, and to be able to sit at this table and be able to share. So as we wrap, and I'll say this, we went over time, but I'm okay with that because guess who's the producer of this show? Me. So I can do that. Isn't that kind of cool? I don't have a network to tell me that, so it's kind of cool. So I just, as we close out, guys, I want to ask you what you guys got next, what you would like to share to the community, to the audience, and to everyone as we wrap up. If you want to share something that you've got going on that you want people to know about you, I'm going to hit Lori first and then come back to Cle. So Lori, can you just share? Because I know you got something going on. So go on and share it and tell the people what you got going on.
Oh, so many amazing things going on. First thing I want everyone to do is go over to girlgobegreat.com, and it's real easy, right? It's right there on the screen, girlgobegreat.com. I want you to go get a free gift from me. All right? I want you to join my email community. That's where we stay connected through. We don't stay connected through really Facebook and Instagram and all the socials, only because it's so fast moving, right? And you may miss something. So yes, we're there, but just go over there and join the email community. You'll get a free gift. It is a full part audio training from me. It is truly a valuable asset. And what it'll do is help you kind of map out your greatness framework. Like, what does that really look like, right? Let's just start there. Now, for those of you who want to kind of dive into my AI brain, we got some incredible things happening and coming. So stay tuned. So join the email community. Yes, follow me on Instagram, Lori Pelzer. Follow me on LinkedIn and follow me on Facebook. So if you're in the email community, you'll know when it drops first. So the programs will be coming. We'll be really rolling everything out in November. Okay. We have a big online summit happening, and you'll be able to join me for 3 days where we're not only going to just talk AI, we're going to put our fingers to the keys. Okay, you're going to see how stuff is built, how things happen. You're going to hear from world-renowned speakers, and you're going to have an opportunity to really get a lot of deep dive questions answered, settled. Now, last thing, Larvetta and I are a part of a group of women who've decided to not just be Black women, business women, and thought leaders. We're headed to Canada to create one of the first and only Black women designed type of expo type, what we'd like to say to add to that, Larvetta.
We said summit. Yes, festival, summit. We want it all.
Summit. Yeah, we're bringing it all in inclusive. And it is a challenge for women in Canada who are lagging behind the women in the U.S. in terms of Black ownership. Yeah. We need to bring the conversation to her. I do a lot of work in Canada. Larvetta, we would not do without L3 Marketing and her team. We have a team of 2 others, Jessica Washington, operations, all things operations, and Keisha Pinto in Canada, all things corporate events. So listen, you can come from the U.S. to Canada. Join the email list and you'll get updates as we are rolling them out. It'll happen next year, March 2024. Yes. Thank you, Larvetta.
Thank you.
This has been awesome. Yes. Unique experience today. Thank you. Great to meet you, Cle Andrea. I appreciate the work you do.
I know. I'm so, we in Chicago though, Lord, just so you know, we here in Chicago. We gonna let you stay in the ATL. We in Chicago, but we love you. We love you. Cle Andrea, you got to come. I know, but don't nobody come after, they ain't gonna see us it's kind of like October and then we don't see everybody till like May. That's how it works. And it's okay. It's okay. We love you. We love you.
Yeah, y'all about to be snowed in.
Yes. Yes, sir. We just gonna come over there. We just gonna come to the South.
Yeah, don't do that, Lori.
We just gonna come to the South. Cle Andrea, what do you have coming up in Inked Digital and part of Cle Andrea Hayden's personal brand.
Yes. So we too have a lot going on, a lot of really great things happening. The first, I definitely want to put in that little plug. Definitely follow us on Instagram at Inked, INKED, digital, DIGITAL. AGY, you know, I got to get a little fancy with agency. AGY is a way to abbreviate agency.
On IG. Got it.
Yes, we are there on IG, and then we are also on LinkedIn. You can follow me personally at Cle Hayden, CLEHAYDEN, on the grams and all the socials. 2023 is a year of expansion for myself and the agency. And I will share this news here first.
We always get the first over here. Yes. I
will share this news first. We are expanding into the Dallas Fort Worth area. We'll be there before the end of 2023. I'm very excited about this because this gives us an opportunity to do some things in the South. And I'm excited.
Yes,
I'm excited. You know, I didn't know I was going to share all that today.
Yeah.
But we are going there, and I'm excited about the opportunities that will prevail in this move. The other thing that we do with the agency, and this will come up around October, November, is we do what we call social media turn-ups. And with social media turn-ups, it's a one-on-one opportunity for small business owners.
Oh, good. You're coming back
we're going to bring those back.
Yes.
Opportunities
you twerking and you give us some twerks. You're doing some twerks.
Look, we're going to give you a couple of tricks. Just a couple of tricks. Yes. Opportunities to sit with me to talk a little bit about your social media, your strategy, identify some key tactics to help you grow in 2024. So definitely follow along on IG. You can come to our website. We will have a new website up in the next few weeks. I know my team is excited to be coming near the end of that project. But you will be able to find all of the information regarding social media turn-ups there. So a lot of really amazing things in 2023. And let me say this too, before we part ways. Thank you for creating this platform. I know that this has, been a project, and it's something that you have been working diligently on. Continue to keep up the good work, Livetta. Please. Yes, we need you. Sister. We need you to share these stories, and I am so honored to be with you today. Thank you.
Oh, she got me warm and fuzzy. Thank y'all for just rocking with us and tuning with us during National Black Business Month. You can never say that there are not successful Black businesses in this world because I just introduced you to two. So you can never say that. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you for rocking with us with another episode of Black Businesses Matter. We'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
The Black Businesses Matter podcast is produced by the L3 Agency, a culturally sensitive influencer, marketing, and communications firm in Chicago, where relationships are our currency, passion is our profit maker, and people are our bottom line. Follow us on Instagram at Black Businesses Matter.